Magandang araw po sa inyo at welcome back dito sa ating panibagong video. At sa vlog na ito is ating pag-uusapan itong pinaka-latest na interview ni Sofronio Vasquez with Ma'am Janelle. And nakapost po ito dito sa kanyang social media account sa YouTube na So Janelle TV. So ating pag-uusapan mga kapolitika dahil ito yung pinaka-latest na mga kaganapan at mga updates sa atin ni Sofronio Vasquez. Pero bago ang lahat ay huwag kalimutang mag-like at mag-subscribe na rin kayo para updated kayo sa ating mga latest issue. At ating pag-uusapan para sa vlog na ito itong dahil na-excite nga tayo sa mga susunod na event ni Sofronio, most especially itong kanyang concert dito sa Soler with Jed Madela and si Between Escalante. So inuulit-ulit natin mga kapolitika dahil sa mga susunod na araw na po natin masasaksiyan at dito po ito sa ating bansa. Pero bago yan ay magkakaroon po muna ata ng update or live stream bukas August 22 para dito sa album ni Sofronio Vasquez. So dito ang sinasabi niya kasi meron siyang dalawang single album na yung Nandito Lang Ako or Nandito Lang and then Patient. So 2 singles and 2 stories to be told from the powerful voice of Sofronio Vasquez III this coming Friday. Nandito Lang and Be Patient. So ito po yung update ng Star Music at nakita nga natin doon sa ating naunang video na nai-report natin itong si Jonathan Manalo and si Sofronio ay nag-collab na para dito sa mga sinasabing album. Samantala ay todo promote na rin yung kanyang concert dito sa Dubai sa September 6 sa World Trade Center sa Dubai. Something big is building up. Sofronio Vasquez just dropped 2 new singles, Nandito Lang and Patient under Star Magic. All of this is leading up to one unforgettable night, Sofronio Vasquez live in Dubai. So on top doon mga kapolitika sa kanyang event sa England, sa ASAP England, and then ngayong Sabado naman ay dito sa Soler sa Parañaque City ay magkakaroon po siya ng concert dito sa Dubai. And in fact ay todo promote na yung kanyang mga organizers doon. At sa mga susunod na araw, I think magkakaroon rin sila ng live stream para sa promotion ng kanyang live performances. So, in other words, ay napakaraming mga kaganapan at mga activities ni Sofronio para dito sa kanyang mga concert, sa mga album niya na kung saan ay tayo personally na-excite at talagang inaabangan natin yung mga pasabog ni Sofronio and hopefully ay makakasama natin si Sofronio sa isang big event or live performance dito sa ating bansa. Okay, yung sinasabi nila na solo concert, yun daw ang gustong abangan ng kanyang mga supporters. So mga kapolitika, narito po at ating panoorin yung interview ni Ma'am Janelle dito kay Sofronio patungkol nga sa kanyang mga update, mga concerts at mga album, and credit this video sa Janelle TV dito sa YouTube. Pero para sa akin yung pinaka-highlight at pinaka-nagustuhan ko dito sa interview ay yung sinabi ni Sofronio na isa sa kanyang mga extended play na single doon sa US ay isa sa mga awitin ni David Foster. At alam naman natin na si David Foster ay kilalang hitmaker. So ito yung ating abangan na pasabog mga kapolitika sa career ni Sofronio Vasquez. Kayo po ba ay na-excite sa mga balitang ito? Mag-comment down below at huwag kalimutang mag-like at mag-subscribe na rin kayo para updated kayo sa ating mga latest issue. At narito na po ang video ating panonoorin ang latest interview ni Sofronio Vasquez.
Yeah. And finally, months later, we are making it happen. Sofronio Vasquez is here. Sofronio, hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having this time with me, and I appreciate that for the longest time we've been doing date checks about this interview, and I am here.
Yes, yes. When we talk about immigration and representation, I feel like we have a few guests that really swak no, sa mga criteria na yun. Because Sofronio is also an immigrant, born and raised in Mindanao.
Yes.
Tell us your immigration journey. Why did you move? When did you move?
Mainly because I wanted to have this American dream. Like most Filipinos have that. And I was actually I'm a dentist in the Philippines. So I graduated dental medicine in the Philippines, and moving forward, I always have this dream in music. But with music in the Philippines. Philippines has the most saturated field of music. We have great singers, great talents, and I have a question in myself that will I be able to do it? So with pandemic, all of the challenges that I have been through in my life, I decided to why not give it a try in America? And so I've seen America for the first time when I tried working as a cruise ship singer in Carnival Cruises in Florida. I had a view that America is beautiful, and it is really true that it's like the opportunities are endless. And so I tried, and then when I visited here and I decided like, hey, I want to go study here and I want to pursue not my music, I want to pursue my dental career.
Okay.
And yeah, little did I know when I started my dental career a little bit in upstate New York, music really like knocked me again.
Yes.
And so I just randomly sent an audition tape for The Voice, and we are blessed to be here.
Yes, let's talk about that, because yours is a wonderful story of resilience as well. Because uprooting yourself from a place that you're familiar with, where you already had a career as a dentist, and starting from scratch in a foreign land, it takes courage. And we have a lot of viewers that are also on the same page na immigrants, and it's not easy. I want you to give them some kind of encouragement, because I know that there are obstacles.
Yeah. Well, it's really true. Hindi talaga madali.
Homesick.
Yeah. Most people would add that idea na hindi siya madali. Malamang makikita nating mga friends, they would just like, yeah, you're in America, you have the best life. But it's always the same. I mean, not because the same in nature, but it's the same. You have to go through everything. And it's also humbling that you do that. Like here in America, if you're not lazy, you can be whatever you want to be. So sa mga dreamers out there, and even not just with music, even our lives, ang daling makahanap ng opportunity dito sa Amerika when you also know, and when you have that moment to recognize anong kahinaan mo, anong pwede mong ikagaling, at anong pwede pang mas igagaling mo. And yeah.
I love that. And the story of Sofronio also tells us that knockdowns, rejections are part of life, right? Setbacks are sometimes setups for comebacks, right? And tests are sometimes our testimony to give glory, right? Marami ka ring naranasang rejections.
Ay nako, sobrang dami. Alam mo, dati naisip ko siya, when I have those rejections, I would always ask myself na lahat naman na ginawa ko. I mean, ano bang kulang? Ano pa ba yung pwede, at ano bang kaya nila na hindi ko kaya? But moving forward, when I just tried knocking doors, and then later I realized that those setbacks talaga are blessings pala. So I would call them, before, if you asked me 5 years ago, that's a rejection for me. That's me before, but when you ask me right now, those are beautiful moments.
Yes.
Kasi talagang it really diverted my perspective. It really did a good maneuver in my life that I am here.
Right.
And like, who would have think, I am born and raised in the Philippines. I am a very Bisaya, I struggle a lot when speaking English, but because I'm always inspired, I get to work. If I have a good amount of space in my day, I watch movies, I watch interviews, because I want to learn. And I'm always up for learning.
God's rejection is never that. It's, they call it redirection.
Redirection,
Yes, and you were redirected to become season 26 winner of The Voice. First Asian male and first Filipino to win that. We're going to be talking about that because, guys, that's one of the peaks of representation when we talk about representation here on the show. And so that story, when we return, don't go away. Thank you for sharing your time with us here on So Janelle. I'm your host, Janelle So, bringing you stories of immigration and representation. Happy Sunday if you're watching on TFC. Happy Saturday if you're watching on ANC. And happy Monday if you're watching on KXLA Channel 44 here in Southern California. We are available on demand on I1TFC, and we are always on our social media platforms on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Sojanel TV, bringing you today the story, the immigration story, and the representation story of Sofronio. Sofronio, my gosh, congratulations. Very
Thank you
delayed.
so much.
And you have been nonstop since you won in December. But first, from your blind audition, where all the 4 coaches turned around, right, to the finale.
Yeah.
What did that journey teach you about believing in your voice?
Wow, that's a very good question. I mean, well, there's a lot of things that I could share about that journey. But if there's one important lesson and one important moment in my life doing that journey, I think it's being present. Because in life, sometimes we get so overwhelmed with what's happening, you know, mabilis tayong ma-divert dun sa kung anong nangyayari. But if you are really present, you would be able to know na ano yung kailangan mong gawin, ano yung pwede mo pang gawin, which I always say, and ano yung magagawa mo pa.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love that because it shows humility.
Yeah.
The humility to listen and learn.
Exactly.
The humility to admit to yourself that you're not perfect.
You're not perfect.
Yes.
And ito yung pinaka-Filipino spirit na naiiwan sa akin, na everyday, there's someone na pinapanganak na mas magaling sa'yo. So you have to be ready.
Right.
And being ready, you have to be present.
Right.
So when people are still sleeping, you get up, you work out, you practice. When you have a piece or a song to learn, you make time, himayin mo, know the lyrics, know the song. Kasi sometimes, you are not singing the highest note, but if you're singing the heart, you can really, touch lives.
Right. So let's talk about that because you mentioned that. What does a day look like for the voice champion?
Oh.
What time do you wake up? What do you do first?
Is it after the competition or
Ngayon na,
Ngayon
after na, nanalo ka na.
This is very self-centered, but
okay.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So every time I wake up, I get to watch my video.
Yes, okay, good.
Yeah,
But it's not being self-centered because you also see how you can improve.
Yeah. So, every time pagising ko, of course, I say, thank you, Lord. Maraming salamat for giving me another day. And then I get to talk to my family, my mama, my loved ones, family ko dito. And then, I get to watch my videos. Videos na newly uploaded and videos na mga existing uploaded because I wanted to learn and I wanted to check na yun nga yung sinabi mo na ano pa yung pwede kong gawin, and I would also personally encourage myself to be reminded that I'm a fan of myself. I am very proud kasi possible na lahat or even may mga tao na hindi maniniwala sa'yo, but you should be reminded that you should learn to love yourself first.
Right. I love that. Love yourself first because no one else will support you.
Yeah.
But the next, outside of ourselves, is our immediate family.
Yeah.
Talk to us about your father's memory and how his memory has influenced your daily lives, even now when you make decisions and your shift to music.
Yeah. So, my papa is well-educated. Nanggaling sila sa medyo mahirap na buhay, but he really strived hard because he's intelligent, and I'm very proud of it kasi yun lang yung sabi niya sa akin na kung meron ako magiging maipamana sa inyo, it's the education. Kaya he really told us to study hard, focus on your dreams with education. So, meron siyang sinabi sa akin, and I would bring this forever in my heart. Every time I go to a very difficult decision, every time I go to a challenging moment, and even in the interesting and the most overwhelming one, you just have to do deep breathing, When you exhale, it resets everything, It grounds you and it helps you.
I love that. Very simple, right? But we
Very
forget.
simple, yeah.
I am guilty of that too. Sometimes kasi when it's stressful, we tend to hold our breath.
Yeah, and then gusto
Yes.
mong go. But
Oo.
when you sit and then deep breathing, merong reset yun.
Yes, yes. In terms of reset as well, you know, the Filipinos have just been able to reset with you because you have given so much pride. Dala-dala mo talaga yung mga Filipinos. What role does your Philippine upbringing has it brought to you?
Wow.
That you were able to use a competition and you're able to use in your life now?
Yeah, so when I was doing the competition, I really made sure that I appreciate everyone. And that's one Filipino trait that I am most proud of, na we appreciate everyone, and humble kasi talaga yung mga Pilipino, and more than the resiliency, more than everything, talagang mabait tayo in nature. Not that I'm saying na hindi mabait yung ibang lahi.
Hindi sila mabait.
No.
Okay.
Pero talagang alam ko na in nature, yung mga Pilipino talaga is mabait, magalang, forgiving and understanding.
Yes.
So, nagamit ko talaga siya most especially with the competition. Kasi, kailangan ko mag-adjust eh. And so, na-appreciate ko yung Filipino in me, na nakakatuwa talaga maging Filipino, and feeling ko, with most heart, feeling ko talaga napansin nila yun, na I am a Filipino because I am that.
I love that. And I love that the Philippines is now being known even more, being represented by Sofronio.
Oh, thank you.
But you know what I like about the community is it also brings out the support for each other. We're going to be talking